Okay. McKenna, I'm gonna have you go first. I'm just gonna spotlight your video if I can talk. Okay, so you are good. Just want you should be able to unmute yourself, but I just want you to introduce yourself and just kind of give like a little bit about It Works, like your story, and then just give us all your biggest tips and everything.
Perfect. Can everyone hear me okay? Yeah, okay, perfect. Hi guys, my name is McKenna. I'm 23 and I'm from California, hence why it's super bright. It's still outside. I'm really nervous. This is literally the first Zoom I've ever talked on, so just give me a little bit of time. But I am a full-time hairstylist, and before It Works, I knew that I needed something more. I was living paycheck to paycheck. I still live with my parents, so it's a little difficult. It really is, but I knew that like I needed something more. And so my upline is Sammy, and she brought me into this business with me knowing nothing. I literally knew nothing about this. I didn't know how to sell, nothing. And so I was super duper excited. My first year in the business, I didn't know what to do. Like, I didn't know how to work. I just didn't know like what to do. And I kind of just put this business on the back burner. And that was the number one thing that I was not happy about. I like put it on the back burner, and I felt like, I don't know, I knew I needed more. So I went to conference this past year, and conference was amazing, you guys. Like, I just felt like you see so many people there. Like, you didn't realize like this business is amazing, and what you have your hands on is something great. And seeing this the whole arena just like filled with actual human beings, like real life people, made me realize like, okay, this business can help with everyone and anyone who puts in the time and puts in the work. And so I did, and it was amazing. And literally I was there as a distributor. I wasn't even there as an executive. I wasn't there as anything. I've never promoted in my entire life in this company until, I want to say, like April and May. Like April, I became Emerald. So I triple promoted from executive to Ruby and then to Emerald. And guys, like, I got the chills because like I didn't know like this was possible. I didn't know that if I put in so much work into this business, I get results. And so that's super amazing. And my team and I are literally 556 away from Diamond. So I'm like super duper excited. We are just, yeah, I'm so excited. I feel like every time I talk about it, um, yeah, I'm shaking because I'm so excited about it. But I wanted just like to jump in with like some of my tips. I've been really struggling lately. Before this, I never did self-development. I didn't know what self-development was. I didn't know, um, I just didn't know what it was. Like, I didn't know like how I would do it. And I did not like to read. Like, that's one thing I did not like to do before.
I think you glitched out, McKenna. Oh, there you are.
Oh, what?
Wait, you're back. It glitched out for a second, but you're back. You're
Oh,
good.
okay. Um, and so I love reading books now. Like, I'm almost done with the book that I am reading, and it is absolutely amazing. Um, so self-development is the number one thing that I would suggest, and I will definitely make into a routine. Even, for example, this morning I've been running late because I just started back to work, and seeing out um, work now and still being able to do my self-development and to still do all of the things. And I did it this morning, even if just like throwing like a little podcast on or something like that, just to like get you motivated for the day. And praying on my way to work is something that like, I've never done. So yeah, self-development is number one. I love it now. It's like I I don't even know. It's my number one routine that I always do in the morning. Um, Another one is being consistent. the longest time, I was never consistent. I was never like, I would post here and there, but no one really knew how serious I was about this until I would go live on my story, where I would go, I would show my face, and I would be like, I'm an actual human being, you guys. Like, this isn't a scam. This isn't a pyramid scheme. Like, this is real life. And I feel like a lot of people don't know that because they're so used to seeing like, oh, pyramid schemes are awful. And it's like, okay, well, one, like, this girl is not a pyramid scheme. Like, we as human beings make an actual money from this. So you either like want to know more information, or you can go look it up yourself. Like, there's just different types of people, and you just gotta find that person that runs with it. I just enrolled.
I can ask a question. What would you recommend to someone that like isn't good with like going live or like posting videos of themselves at the beginning? Because like that literally took me like almost a year to be able to do. So I'm like, what kind of tips would you give to someone like that? Because I know for myself,
Yeah, definitely.
that was terrifying.
Definitely. So, whenever I would do like videos, so I would like record myself. I wouldn't show my face or anything. I would just record myself like making my coffee or making a video, and I would use Photoshop and I would speed it up. And I would just like post that on like my story. I would post that as like a video or something like that until I got more comfortable. And then once I was done with like doing that kind of videos, I would kind of like talk about it on my story, and I would talk about it. I wouldn't just go live because I'm not there yet. So then I would do live. So just like baby steps. I feel like definitely video shop. I still use video shop every day. Like, I have a video that I just did. I mean, sometimes I don't even look presentable, and I just do a video shop. Like, and it just like, yeah, I'm alive. I do these types of things. I always, whenever I'm nervous and like I see lots of people just hopping on, I get really, really nervous and I stutter a lot. So it's just like, you're a human being. Like, you have a life. Like, I don't even know. Like, I stutter so much. Yes, I ramble, and I'm like, okay, I'll make it off, and I'm just gonna stop talking.
I love that.
can
Actually,
go on
something
tangents.
that I've been doing with that is I've just kind of like embraced the fact, exactly, Danny, like embrace it. Like, I've just embraced the fact that like I'm stuttering, and I'm like, I'm stuttering so bad right now. And I'm just like calling it out, because then like people know you're a real human. Or like, I know, for example, like another thing, you guys, like, post the bloopers. Like, bloopers are hilarious. And like, I know Danny's like laughing, like when I like spilt like my almond milk everywhere from my coffee. Like, that was hilarious. And like everyone, like, I cannot tell you guys how much interaction I had on that post, literally because like I messed up, you know. And I was like bloopers are the best. And like, it took me forever to be able to finally just like sit there and like record myself, because I was like, I'm literally like talking to no one. And it's kind of just like everyday thing now. Like, I'll just find myself like talking. Like, it's fine.
I talk to myself all the time. So it's just like, you're just talking to yourself. Just talk to yourself again. So yeah, going live, I feel like going live on my Facebook, I never used to do until I was on a Zoom, like on a training, like a coaching call with Shay. And she goes like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, what? And she goes, why aren't you going live on your Facebook? And I was like, I don't know. So the next day, like, I started it, and it was just like, it was perfect, because that's like when, that was right before, yes, calling me out, it was bad. I was like, okay, sorry. Like, I'll go live. And so right when I went live, that's when we hit Emerald. And so I feel like you gotta like get out of your comfort zone. This business came out of my comfort zone. Like, I just don't know. This brought me out into like, I'm a new human being. Like, my mom was telling me before I was going back to work, McKenna, you're so positive now. Like, you're so much more positive. And I was like, what? She's like, you're positive. You're a different person, and you just look at the bigger and better things. And I just felt like if my mom can see that, everyone else can see that. And so I loved when she said that, because I was like, okay, like I'm doing something, like I'm changing for the better. And I felt really, really confident. And that brings me to like another thing, being confident about you. I've literally posted something yesterday and on my Instagram, and I got so much feedback from it because of the products. Like, I've lost so much weight from these products that everyone messaged me like, what? You look so good. What is this? And so that just made me feel more confident about myself. So you got to be confident, fake it till you make it. Because girl, I did not know anything. And my team and I are emerald now. We're going diamond, and we faked it until we made it. Made it. So I don't know. I just feel like you have to be the leader that you want your leaders to be. And that's something that I had to realize. I'm very yellow with equal parts of red and blue. And when people say no to me, I'm like, what? Okay. Like, I get very like self-conscious that why did you say no to me? Like, I'm a human being, you know? But then like my red comes out and it's like, okay, no, like I'm not looking for a no. I'm looking for that yes. Let's just keep going. And so I just feel like sometimes you have to be that person where, okay, no, okay, bye, and just brush it off. You can't take things personally with this business because it will take you nowhere. It will take you nowhere. But yeah, that's kind of like what I have. I don't know if you guys have any questions or anything.
No, I love that. That was so, so good. And like, if anyone has any questions for either of them, you guys can put them in the chat and everything. But I don't know, I don't think you touched on this, but something I wanted to ask is like, this is something like we're probably all doing, but like, what are you doing to enroll right now? Like, what is like working for you and like working for your team?
Host to post. You guys are going to hear that so much. Host to post are golden. And what I've loved, like what Sam taught me, is do a giveaway post. So like this Sunday, we're doing cash giveaway, I believe. And so do a giveaway post. When people comment on that giveaway post, don't give them like a product post. Give them another giveaway post. That way you're expanding to their friends. Like, so you're doubling it. And I've had so many people from host to post. I don't talk to any of them. Like, they're brand new friends to me. And so that's something that's been really helping out a lot. And then just continuing to message, because some people are really scared to reach out to you. Some people are like, well, I'm waiting for her to reach out to me. Girl, I will get to you. Just give me a minute. Give me an hour and I will get to you. Because if you're not reaching out, those people don't know. If they say no to you, that doesn't mean that they're going to say no for forever. They're going to stalk you and be like, what does this girl do? I am messaging for loyal customers first. So on Insta, I have like a little script that I do, and it says like, hey, like I came across your page. I think you would be great at this. I'm looking for some product testers. Would you be willing to hear some out? And I will give them like a list and I send them that. And either if they say no, I'm like, okay, no worries. Like, would you like to be introduced to my weekly giveaway? And so on Instagram, I normally do a distributor post up, because I feel like I get a lot of my distributors from Instagram. My Facebook is a lot of customers. I feel like that's just what's really been happening, and they see all of my interaction posts and stuff like that. So like when they become your friend, they will literally scroll through your feed and they will see like, oh, this one, like this girl does this, and they will comment about like product testers or anything that you post. And then that's kind of just like how I don't know, like, it feels like every time you comment on something, it always brings it up to the front also. So an algorithm, I've never in my entire life known about these algorithms. Okay, I've never. And I delete things on Instagram. They're like, no, you can't delete things. You have to archive. I was like, what? What is this? So I have to literally just be careful on what you do. But when you comment, I just comment like message to everyone to bring it all back up. To like if you're looking really for like customers, I would re-comment on like a host of posts that you did on Facebook, and then like generates it all back and it brings it up to the top. So host of posts are like my number one.
I love that. That's awesome. What was I gonna add? Oh yeah. And it was so funny that you said that, because like I like kind of stopped messaging for like customers on Instagram for like honestly like 2 months, and it was kind of this whole mindset of like post to post are awesome, and like I'm just gonna work on those, and it's like, yes, okay, post to post are awesome. And then I started realizing that like I haven't talked to anyone on my Instagram since like March, and I was like, holy crap. And I like just started thinking about it, and I was like, I can't even think about how many people I've missed that have been on my page. And I think it was whenever I went on vacation, because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to get as many host to post up. So I was like, I'll just start messaging again. And literally yesterday I was sending out messages, and I sent out that message. I put it in the chat. It's like a collab message, and it works really well for us. I literally signed an on the spot customer yesterday from that message. Like the whole script is like 4 messages long, and she signed up for a customer, or signed up as customer. And then she didn't even sign up for pick 2. So I got a month supply of Skinny Brew for 60 BV, and I was like, heck yeah. But yeah, I love that so much. So that was seriously so good. I'm so proud of you guys. I cannot wait to watch you all go diamond. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. Thank you.
Of course, if you think of anything else, feel free to put it in the chat, or you can unmute yourself at any time. But we're going to switch over to Morgan. Morgan, again, you should be able to unmute yourself. I just want you to share a little bit about your story, and then just share us all, or give us all your biggest tips.
Okay. Okay, so I do not like looking at just myself, so let me fix that. That's awkward. Anyway, I joined in December of last year, and for the first couple months, I was posting, Annie is my upline actually. So I was working the business, but I really wasn't like, I had like one toe in. I was kind of like, I don't really know, because I had been in before, like a couple years before that, and it didn't work out for me because my upline just kind of disappeared, and I was unsure of what to do. So I was like, I'll try it out again. I had actually just had my daughter that past May, and the job that I was working for when I got pregnant, I was part-time, so they didn't offer me paid leave for maternity leave. So they said I had to take at least 6 weeks, and it was going to be unpaid. So I was like, negative, that's not going to happen. So 3 weeks after she was born, I went to work with a friend of mine's aunt, cleaning houses, 6 days a week. I mean, from sun up to sundown. It tore my body up, especially after just having a baby. Like, it was no good for me. So by the end of 2019, I was like, okay, something's got to change. And Annie had reached out to me once, and I remembered it. And I went back to her page on Instagram, and I scrolled through, and I was like, okay, I think I'm going to do it. And it was actually, I think it was 30% off when I joined. So I was like, that's even better. And then by February, I was charted for Ruby, but I didn't have the volume. So I just kind of was like, well, maybe this isn't going to work. So I kind of gave up on myself, which I shouldn't have done, because I could be way further now. And then, let's see, February, March, I didn't really work very much at all. My mom had just gotten out of prison, and she moved in with me. And my brother is with us as well. And there was just a bunch of changes going on, and I didn't really feel like I had the time. And then Annie messaged me out of the blue in like mid-April, and she said, you're like 200 and it was like 275 or something like that from Ruby. And I was like, wait a minute, what? I was like, how? I haven't been doing anything. And she was like, well, I just see so much potential in you, and I know that you need this, and you got this, and just really uplifting me and encouraging me. And I was like, okay, you're right. You drugged me this far, basically. Like, I've had people on my team not working before, and I know how much that sucks. And so I was like, wow, she really sees something in me that I hadn't seen in myself that far into it yet. And so on the 25th of April, I went Ruby, and then the 30th of April, I went Emerald. And so in May, I had needed 5 DTs to go Diamond. So I was pushing for that, and I got all of them. I actually charted for Diamond about halfway through May, and I was still, I think, 3,000 away from it. And then the last week came, and I was still 2,000 and something, and I just looked at that volume, and I let it discourage me, and I kind of sat back, and I was like, well, maybe I'm not ready, maybe I'm not the leader that my team needs. When I thought of Diamond Leader, like, I thought it came with so much responsibility, which it does, but you're still doing all of the things that you were taught to do in the beginning. You're still posting, you're still messaging. It's just the same thing, just more of it, and being more consistent with it. So I did that. I wrote notes because I tend to get really off track like I do in my lives all the time. So I didn't want to make it super long. But anyway, missed Diamond in May. And then I just really felt really bad about it because I posted about it, and I came to, I think it was Alicia, and I was like, so what do I do now? Like, I've posted, I'm this many orders away, I'm pushing for this, and I was just so loud about it throughout that month, and then I didn't get it. I was like, what do I even say on social media now? Like, do I just pop out there and be like, yeah, I missed it, but we're going for it again, And she was like, yeah, she said, people love that even if even if you don't make it in that certain time span, you have forever. There's no time limit on when you can promote to any rank. But I really wasn't doing the self-development that I needed to be doing ever since I started. I mean, I knew what it was. I'm a Christian and I go to church, and I just really didn't understand the importance of filling your cup up until I realized that by the end of the day, being a mom and a sister and a daughter and a girlfriend and trying to wear all of these hats and be good at them, you need to fill your cup up. And I guess I could roll into some of my tips is just, fill it up, because you can't give it out if you don't have it. And we are 922 from Diamond, actually. I did my chart before we started. So self-development, that was something that really, really flipped in me after I missed it. And I was like, you know what? I've been really down on myself about this, but this isn't how June is going to look. And so I went in and I did my charts. Get your charts out. Like, if you don't know where you're going, it's like getting in a car, like Cheyenne says, and you don't have a map. You're just going to drive and you're going to get lost. So I personally do self-development first thing in the morning and at night before I go to bed, because I feel like I get my cup full in the morning. I go throughout my day, but by the end of my day, I've poured out a lot of that cup. And so at night, I'll just read. I just recently bought the 2 of these, Hi God, One More Thing, and then Hi God, It's Me Again. Got both of those. But just read a little something from there, or just my Bible, or even listen to a podcast or anything like that just before bed, just so I can go to sleep with that. And then I pray about my business. I always fall asleep praying. And praying has been hard for me, actually, because sometimes you just don't know what to say, but God knows what you want to say, and you just let it out. I mean, you don't have to make sense, because He already knows what it is. And then, so, let's see. Power hours. Those have worked well for me because I'm a mom. I have an autistic little brother. I have a family. People are here all the time, friends. Just my house is never empty. So power hours are really when I can sit down and just get through my 6 list and really stay consistent with it. I'm like, okay, look, leave me alone. I'm going to my room. I don't want to talk to you. I'm going to get this done, and I'll be back. And so I try to do 1 in the morning and 1 at night, and sometimes I can work 1 in the middle of the day. And then a lot of times I will go live. Like, if I leave the house, I hardly ever go live when I'm at home, unless like I'm making a little video. Like, it's not a live, I'm just a video of me making coffee or whatever. But I like to do it when I'm alone. So I'll do it while I'm in the car. Like, I'll just park somewhere and just go live and just start talking. Like, I didn't start out that way. I did start out doing the little videos, like not showing my face. In the very first video I actually didn't show my face at all. I was just making my coffee, and I got a bunch of comments on it, and I was like, what? Like, what have I been missing? I really need to do this more. And so one day I just went live, and I've been doing it ever since. And like I said, I ramble, and I don't about whatever. And throughout the day I also throw in, the product posts and things like that, because there's something that doesn't take as much time. But with my power hours, I would sit down and send out a certain number of messages and, do it. I can send it if you guys want the specific one that I made for myself. And then growing your network is another big thing, because after pushing for a promotion, right there at the end of the month, you're messaging everybody. And so you go through and you're like, well, I've already talked to them, and them. So growing your network throughout the month, not just like right at the beginning of the next month, because it's kind of hard to do that. If you're doing it throughout the month, people are getting a chance to see what you're doing that month before, and then how many messages. And then they'll watch you that month, and maybe the next month they'll sign up with you. So I usually send like 25 messages on Facebook. And then I'll go and I'll send 25 out on Instagram. And I message for DTs on Instagram. because I have a cute little slide that I send them to post on Instagram for DTs, and that's actually blown up. I haven't been using Instagram, but only this month. Like beforehand, I would dabble with it here and there, but I just recently connected my stories on Instagram and started really using Instagram. And it's worked a lot for me for DTs so far. I haven't signed any customers from Instagram. This month, my first customer ever in the business was from Instagram. Anywho, off track. So I send 25 on Facebook, 25 on Instagram, and on Facebook I'm sending for post to post. That's what I've always been doing, but I'm going to take Cheyenne's advice and start messaging for customers again, because that's something that I've strayed away from a whole lot because post to post really blew up. But surprisingly, this month I've been getting out at least 10 a day, but a lot of them aren't blowing up like they were in the past couple months. So I'm having to kind of adjust right here in the middle of the month and just trying to figure out what's going to work a little bit better for us. And I think the last thing I was going to say was rally your troops. Like, I know for me, I was like, the reason why I missed Diamond, I feel like, is because I didn't feel like I was the leader that I needed to be, and I didn't know how to lead other people because I barely knew what I was doing. I mean, I hit Ruby and Emerald in a week. So it was like, I really am not sure if I can do this. So really just talk to them. They want you to be personal with them. Like, they don't want to feel like just another number, just a paycheck for you. They want to feel like they're your friend. And a couple of them I do know personally, but some of them I don't. And I really dove into the color personalities. That was something that just fascinated me. And I think it's, what's her name? Kelsey Thornton and another girl did one on YouTube, and they go over each color specifically. And I've been working on that and just really focusing on that because it'll tell you a lot about them and how to teach them. Because for one girl, voice messages might hit them a lot harder than writing it out for them. Because if they're like me, if I see a long tail message, I'm not trying to read all that. Just get to the point. I want to know the details, and that's it. But some people like that. Some people like the personal stuff with it. So you really have to learn that about people. And I'm really red, if y'all couldn't tell, by the way. But yeah, just be loud. Talk to your team about what you're pushing for, and you're gonna have people quit. You're gonna have people that are like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and they push really hard for like the first week, and then they just don't. They just disappear, or they read your messages and they're like, okay, they say they're gonna do the post or whatever you tell them or ask them to do, or hop on live or whatever, and then they just don't. So they try to like not push you away, but they're not really all in. But you kind of just have to move past that and know where your time is going. That's something that I've had to fix in myself is don't focus so hard on the people that aren't working that you're forgetting about the people that are. Because you have people that still need you that, you feel like, okay, well, they're good, get out the nest, you're fine, you know everything you need to know, but they still need that interaction with you to know that you care, not that you just train them and now they're on their own. And then also something that has came up in this month was that the seeds that I planted back in like March and April, well, the end of March, beginning of April, and into May, all of those people that I messaged or like commented on stuff and just never messaged me back or whatever, like they're reaching out to me now. And so when we say that, you have to wait for those seeds to come to harvest, that's really true. Like I never believed that. I was like, oh, if they don't read it then and they don't reply, then they're never going to. But they do. Like people that have left me on red numerous times come back to me, or they'll comment on my giveaway post and end up asking me about the products because of that. So it will happen, and you'll have people are nosy. People watch you all the time. Like people hop on my lives that I don't even know. And I'm like, okay, where'd you come from? Like, why are you watching me? You gonna buy something or what? But that's pretty much it. Show your face and be consistent. Be you. Like when you're on live and stuff, like obviously I'm not perfect and none of us are. Like don't worry about that. Nobody cares. Like they're gonna be nosy either way. They're gonna watch you. I sat there and watched this girl's live the other day that was sitting there doing nothing. Like she was just doing nothing. Like just she was on live for like a good 20 minutes. I was like, what am I doing with my time right now? I'm watching this person that's doing nothing. But people do that and they don't really care. But no one is like you. There is no other person that brings the things that you bring to the table. Everybody is unique and everybody is different. So really the biggest thing, self-development, staying consistent and just praying about it because it'll happen in his time and his time is always right because I promoted to Ruby. God, I can't talk. Ruby and Emerald so fast. If I would have went Diamond right after that, I feel like my whole chart would have just, because it wouldn't have been built on like something that I really truly worked on. Like I feel like now I've got my chart, I've got all of my girls' charts out. You know, I know where they're going as well as where I'm going. And so I feel like when you build that strong chart, you're more likely to have people that stay, people that are with you for the long haul. Because the people that joined me back in January and stuff, whenever I started building for Ruby, they're not with me anymore. And that was because I was just doing what I was told and I didn't really know why. And so once you really catch that vision and you start to care about the girls that you're enrolling and you know, help them catch the vision, it really starts to turn things around, and you get people that, you know, need this and care about it just as much as you do. I think that was everything I want to talk about. I hope. Did you have any questions?
That was so good. No, you literally answered all my questions, which is so awesome. I just kind of wanted to like touch on a couple things that you said, because there were some things that you said when I was like, oh my gosh, yes. But like growing your market like throughout the promotion, like I've honestly, that is like, I have many weaknesses, but like that is my biggest one. I will always forget to do that until like the last 3 days of the month, and then I'm like following 500 people on Instagram, friending like 1,000 on Facebook, and then I'm also like sending out all the messages, and like it is like always so chaotic. So I love that you said that, because that's something that I struggle with as well, or I guess I struggle with like not doing. And another thing is, I love that you said, like, it's okay to talk about if you missed a promotion. Because, like, that's, like, one of the biggest things that I've struggled with. Like, this team's been pushing for presidential since April of 2019. So it's, like, every month I shout this out. And, like, it got to the point where, like, I just stopped shouting it out because I was like, I can't, because like my red heart, like I was like, I cannot handle this disappointment again. And then like I started shouting this goal out again over the last couple of months, and like it was crazy because like I had so many people that I didn't know were following me that were like other distributors saying like, I love like how hard you keep pushing for this. And I'm like, oh girl, if only you knew behind the scenes. Like I cry most nights because of it, but you know what I mean? It was funny because I was like, that actually like made me so happy, because like so many people were like, oh my gosh, like I'm so excited for this to happen for you guys. And I was like, you are? Like, oh my gosh, it was like the coolest thing ever to like see that. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think that was the only thing. Also, another thing was, oh my gosh. Oh, power hours. I love that you said that though, because I personally cannot work in power hours. I've tried, and like I've tried like working so many different things, but like my schedule, it just does not work with my schedule. So literally, like this goes for everyone. Like however you have to work this business, there is not a wrong way. Like obviously there is, like don't sell things on Poshmark, but like you know what I'm saying. Like if you need to do a 6 list, power hours, like whatever that is for you, like just do that. Cause like like I said, power hours just don't work with me. And kind of going off of that, I love that you guys, like both of you, like Morgan and McKenna, you guys are both so different, but you guys are like both going towards the same goal. And so it just kind of shows again, like there is no like perfect person. Like you don't have to be someone special. Granted, all of you guys are special, but you know what I mean. But like you don't have to be this perfect person to hit this goal. And I know so many of you guys, like I'm looking at the people that are on here, and then just thinking about other promotions that we have, for like everyone is so close, and it's like, this is insane. Like I have never been as close to a promotion this early in the month as some of the girls on my team have been. Like we have a girl that's like less than 100 from Diamond, and I was like, what? Like it's the 15th or the 17th, I don't even know what day it is, but I was like, it's insane. McKenna, do you want to add something?
Yeah, so one thing that my upline had told me is, even though at the very end of the month you didn't reach your goal, you're just that much closer to reaching it the next month. And so
yeah, I was gonna say
the beginning of what month are we in? June? The beginning of June, I was like literally less than 1,000 away, because of how hard like my team and I pushed in May. Like we are that much closer to our promotion this month. So it's crazy that you have no idea that you're that much closer. So it's awesome just to see like everyone rallying up together
Yeah,
Like,
I completely believe, or I agree with that. It just like zoomed in on me. Oh my Lanta. But yeah, like I love that so much because like I was looking at that, like we're about 36,000 away from presidential right now, and it was like, okay, like I used to be like in December I was 88,000, literally triple diamond, paid as diamond, into the month with 12,000 GVE, and I was like. I was like, that's insane. And like now, like we're literally like only 36,000 from presidential. And I'm like, that is insane. Like the amount of growth like this team has had, like we've had so many girls literally go from like not commission qualified to being like double diamonds, and just like so many different like other diamonds, and just all these emerging leaders. Like I literally like I have no words. It's just so amazing, and I'm just so grateful for all of this. But I appreciate the both of you guys so much for hopping on. If any of you guys have any last minute questions, please put them in the chat. Diamond Bootcamp does start in like 9-ish minutes on Shay's code. So if you are Ruby and above, make sure you hop on that. I'm excited to see what everyone has to say. And no one asked any more questions. I'm going to go ahead and end this recording.